makes it feel right. Little bit of love, can't get enough. Won't you be mine? Little bit of love.
La vision du ciel du stade universitaire Saint-Hammer.
Et la plongée, normalement,
sur le stade et on rappelle les règles, les particularités.
100 years, and even off the back of a terrific Olympic Games, it needs to keep pace, quite frankly. So 8 disciplines this afternoon over the course of a 90-minute window. There will be changes to the long jump, pole vault, javelin sprints, and of course the inclusion of that steeplechase mile to crown off the afternoon. So 6 teams will be represented, 6 captains made up of a stellar cast, really, world and Olympic medalists on offer here. And the meeting endorsed by European Athletics and World Athletics. Make no mistake, it's a bit of a trial event and it'll be fascinating to see how it unfolds here. Is this the start of something new? And I'm going to pan down to Michelle, who is trackside, introducing these team captains here today. It will be one of the focuses throughout the afternoon.
are we ready? On va attendre un instant.
Je vais continuer comme ça. Continuez à taper dans les mains.
Fribourg Track Lab, c'est la première compétition par équipe dans le monde de l'athlétisme. 6 équipes, 6 capitaines, 8 disciplines. Le classement est calculé en fonction de la place de l'athlète et non pas de la performance. Le vainqueur de la discipline remporte 8 points, le deuxième remporte 6 points, le troisième 4 points, puis 3, 2 et 1.
Du 400 et 400 mètres. Et voilà la présentation. First team, Team Black.
Et on retrouvera dans cette équipe, on le verra dans quelques instants sur l'écran géant, Nadine Visser, Kissling, Andema, Farage-Stratton, Coiro, Peters, Borlé et Sablé, l'équipe noire.
12:36, 12:36 on 100 meter hurdles from the Netherlands. Double finalist at the World Championships and at the Olympic Games. Welcome, Nadine Visser. How are you, Nadine?
I'm very good. I'm excited.
You are excited. What was your tip for Team Black?
Just enjoy. That's most important. Enjoy, but also let's win.
Enjoy and let's win. Prenez du plaisir
La
et gagnez.
prochaine équipe.
Nadine Visser.
La
Thank you
prochaine
very
équipe,
much.
l'équipe rouge avec Sriskowska, Moser, De Blauw, Ress, Sarna, Lane, Byron et Aboudjana.
4,88 Meter, Schweizer Rekord, Nummer 3 in der Welt. Aus Andelfingen, die Europameisterin, 4. von Paris, Angelika Moser. Bonjour Angelika.
Bonjour.
Une nouveauté à la perche. Est-ce que tu es inquiète? Est-ce que tu te réjouis? Dis-nous.
Un peu les deux. Je pense que ça va être beaucoup de plaisir d'essayer des nouveaux trucs aussi, de faire une compète en équipe, mais ça pose quand même des challenges et on va essayer de faire le mieux.
Ich rate gute Fahrt.
Perfekt, das ist das, was wir gewinnen.
Elle veut gagner aussi. Angelika Moser.
La capitaine de l'équipe rouge est sur l'écran, l'équipe jaune avec Clay, Bonin, Filipic, Maswangani, Gajanova, Kax, Borlé et Simet.
1999 on 200. Relay Olympic silver medalist in Paris from South Africa. Welcome, Captain Sean Maswangani. You arrive with a big smile. You are ready to put on a show.
Definitely. I came out today. It's good weather, good crowd. I'm excited. And yeah.
La météo est très bonne, le public est super, il est excité. We enjoy also that you are here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Et
Thank you very much.
la prochaine équipe sur l'écran, l'équipe bleue avec Larine, Tsing, Rotaru, Kotman, Moumentaler, Vero, Yego, Omala et Dourou.
Mixed relay Olympic champion from the Netherlands. Welcome, Captain Eugene Omala. Tell us why it's your team who will win the competition.
We're the most competitive,
We're the most talented and we're the most driven. We're going for all the 8 points in each event.
Vous avez entendu, ils sont les meilleurs sur tous les plans. C'est pour ça qu'ils vont gagner. You're ready for the show.
We're ready. We're ready.
Ils sont prêts. Merci beaucoup.
Et après l'équipe bleue, sur l'écran, l'équipe rose avec Tignalim, Lamberetto, Lazrak Klas, Flemings, Rosamilia, Matusevicius, Spitz et Bedrani.
Et attention, regardez-la bien, elle a enthousiasmé le stade olympique de Rome en décrochant l'argent au championnat d'Europe à l'heptathlon. Elle s'appelle Oriana Larzaklas, la française. Et Oriana, t'as pas lésiné sur les moyens, les cheveux roses.
Bien sûr, moi je représente.
Tu représentes ton équipe. Est-ce que ton équipe est prête?
Archi prête, on est là pour la gagne, mais d'abord pour le fun.
Est-ce que tu penses que le public va soutenir?
Encore heureux, vous avez intérêt à encourager.
Vous avez intérêt.
L'équipe rose.
Oriana Larzaklas.
Et après l'équipe rose, l'équipe vert avec sur l'écran géant Morrison, Fay, Gardazevic, Burnett, Wallace, Sorgelus, Dos Santos et Cones.
Et attention, c'est une des grandes stars. From Brazil, world champion, champion du monde, 2 times Olympic silver medalist on 400 meters hurdles. Welcome, Captain Alison Dos Santos. And that's team.
That's green, like my flag.
It's green. Green. Tell us why it is green will win today.
Because we like to have fun, we like to enjoy, and I think when you enjoy what you're doing, you can't lose, you know.
Quand on aime ce qu'on fait, on ne peut pas perdre. C'est à garder a 400 meter runner, a hurdle runners on 400 meter.
Today's just the flat, no hurdles, have some fun, you know, just enjoy a little bit the speed.
On se réjouit de voir, ça va aller très très vite. Le vice-champion olympique du 400 mètres sur le 400 plein tout à l'heure.
L'équipe verte et les capitaines. Visser pour l'équipe noire, Moser pour l'équipe rouge.
Well, there we are. We've met the captains. We've been introduced to them trackside. Dos Santos, well, what an exciting figure. To have him here in Fribourg is just fantastic. He'll go in that flat 400 meters this time around, as he mentioned. So, women's 100-meter hurdles, it will kickstart the afternoon here. Crowd filling in nicely. What a fantastic community event we've got. And I think this is sending a few waves around the sport. You know, I think a lot of people will be paying attention to this. There's a lot of athletes who are at the top of their game. I think looking at some of the key changes here in the events, and whether they'll stick or not will be a different question, but I think it's a good thing. We are starting to see some changes. I'll be brutally honest, they do tend to come in the field events. I think they're looking to just speed up the process of the way some of these field events unfold, and I think you've got, you know, Mondo is a prime example of that. From when he steps onto the track to when he breaks a world record, 3 hours could pass in that men's pole vault competition that we've seen, you know, in Paris and Diamond Leagues beyond that as well. So the pole vault, there's some big changes there, as well as the javelin. I'll get into each change per event as the afternoon goes on. But first up, the women's 100-meter hurdles, and they have reduced that reaction time down to 0.0 of a second instead of the traditional 0.1 of a second. Now, it is worth stating that times will be taken and ratified from this meeting, providing that everyone is inside the current legal limit of, or reacts no quicker than 0.1 of a second, which is the current legal limit that World Athletics have set. But there will be no false start. If anyone does react quicker than that, the race will run. And I think the argument athletes have had is, look, we can react faster than 0.1 of a second, which is, you know, sort of seen as humanly impossible to react faster than that to the sound of the gun. So basically just reducing false starts in future. That's the small change that we have here in the sprints. It'll be the same in the 200 and the 400. And, well, let's get to know the athletes in. On the inside, that's Liz Clay, representing Australia and the yellow team. 12:71, her lifetime best. And that came from Tokyo, the Olympic Games, by the way, the Oceania champion from 2024. 29 years of age. She'll be no stranger to this sort of baking sun down here. Not much shade for the athletes at all. And into Maike Tignalim of the Netherlands, 12:66. She'll be looking to kind of back that up this year. She comes in ranked 3 for this one. But Pierre Szykowska then, well, the Polish athlete, European champion a couple of years ago, bronze medal this year, 12:37. And I tell you what, between her and Visa on the outside, just 100th of a second separate them. So it'll be interesting to see Sikoska and Visa line up. That head-to-head duel continues. And you can see Visa there. You can see the black on their numbers and, well, the different colors on their numbers. And she'll be representing Team Black. By the way, those team scores, the winner will get 8 points. Second place will get 6, and third will get 4th, and then all the way down to 1 for the remaining athletes who come across the line. Sarah Lavinen, what a fantastic season she's having, representing Team Blue here, European finalist, 7th there, and a World Indoor finalist, national record holder last year, semi-finalist at those Paris Olympic Games as well, right on the cusp of that top 8 in the world. Crystal Morrison there, late addition to this one, 12:69. Her lifetime best, the Jamaican, 22 years of age, and 13:44 the other night, few nights ago. So a little bit rusty. Interesting to see what form they're in this time in the season. Of course, coming off such a high of those Olympic Games, many of these athletes there in Paris, it's amazing to see them bounce back. Most of them have been through sort of hopping from country to country over the last few weeks. Their ability to adapt with travel and disruptions, and many of them getting in late, is fantastic. There's a nice touch in each lane. You can see the colors as we are set to go. So Clay, Tina Lim, Sikoska, Visser, Lavin, and Morrison right on the outside. 6 to run. It will be the same in every single discipline here this afternoon. And this is track and field in a new light. Race 1 of 8 disciplines. So way to go in, as I said earlier, but interesting to see those reaction times. If anyone is under 0.1 of a second, the times will not be ratified. Look at Visser go there, she's absolutely flying down. She's destroying Sikoska, who was going to be her nearest rival. 12:69 for Visser, the Dutch woman. You know what? She's the captain, she's leading by example here. Nice little flying breeze. And a bit of a shock for me to see Sikoska that far down in that one. So look here, Visser, by the way, Nadine Visser, one of the ones who did a really, really thorough warm-up. She's been down on the track for almost 45 minutes to an hour. The only one I saw sort of going over these hurdles before, and we'll get her thoughts.
La réaction aurait pu être meilleure.
I was allowed to react way faster, but no, I'm happy, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you, happy to get the first point for the team.
Les premiers points, for which team?
Team Black.
For Team Black, les premiers points. Alors qu'elle aurait pu partir plus tôt que d'habitude, elle a dit qu'elle a raté son départ. Nadine Visser,
Well, there you
Team
go then.
Black,
Visser, Clay in second, and Lavin in third place. The women's 100-meter hurdles, and like I said, will that be ratified? Did anyone false start from World Athletics terms, but everyone started slower beyond that 0.0 of a second. So next up, just about to get underway, by the way, will be the pole vault. Interesting, this is going to be a mixed event, 3 men, 3 women. We'll go in this one. Angelica Moser got to be the runaway favorite as well, even with the men included. Moser, 4:88, her lifetime best, the European champion, agonizingly close to the medals in Paris as well, 4th there. And so, what changes are coming to the pole vault world? Athletes will just have a flat 6 attempts, similar to the jumps, but let's hear more.
Chamboulement au saut à la perche avec un classement basé uniquement sur la hauteur effective réalisée. Chaque athlète aura 6 essais pour essayer de sauter le plus haut possible. La barre sera tout de même installée comme aide visuelle. La hauteur effective est calculée entre le point le plus bas de l'athlète et la barre.
Well, you can see effective height will be the word used, and if you've been watching the Diamond Leagues throughout the season, they've been trialing it. We've been seeing the effective height come usually at the bottom right hand of the picture in the Diamond Leagues the other night as well. And you get, athletes clear the bar, but it's how much over the bar are they going to go. So as I said earlier, the bar will be at 4 meters. That will stay an absolute constant throughout this competition. And we expect athletes to go well clear, but how much will be the question. And of course, the athlete with the highest height will be the winner. And so it simplifies the event a little bit. It certainly speeds it up because athletes are just getting 6 attempts instead of several at all different heights, and athletes coming in at different heights as well. And I tell you what, Seiko have put a lot of investment, and the technology is just accelerating so fast that they're able to measure these sorts of things. The long jump as well, they're able to measure the furthest jump with that 40-centimeter takeoff zone. So you can see Moser just wandering around, psyching herself up. It's probably a good time to introduce some of the athletes. The women are, you could say, the stronger of the competitors, and the men in this competition are very, very similar ability to these women. And here we are in Lambert Hatu of Switzerland, 450, his lifetime best. The 28-year-old to go in this one. Is a decathlete by trade as well, and he's just waiting to get going. And this is different for all these athletes. I think one of the things with these changes, they're all quite subtle, and it's keeping, you know, the core fundamentals of the event at heart. However, the pole vault is something, if it is measured, if they continue to go down this route years to come, and it changes to this style, to this concept, I think the technique could change. The poles may even change as well, because I'm sure athletes can go higher when they're not worrying about the pole, but maybe that technique will have to change. So then here is Lambert Hatu. Over he goes, and of course clears it. We would expect everyone to clear these heights, but by how much is the question. Representing the pink team, and we're looking for, one of the things as well we want to look for is those instant results to come through that the crowd can engage with. There we are then, 4 meters and 29. And the bar there just as really a bit of a visual aid, psychological aid. You know, they're so used to vaulting over the bar, they still got to keep that same level of technique. But I wonder, without that bar, whether their technique will get a little bit scrappy, whether they might, you know, because there's no fear of knocking it, they might just, you know, dangle their feet a little bit, not have to worry about what angle they go over it. So, up and over. Well, clear again from Fabio Kissling, also Switzerland, 465 his lifetime best. Timo Zing will go next for the blue, 4 meters 90 his lifetime best. Very, very close to Angelique Moser. So those two perhaps contending for the outright victory here. Moser, heavy, heavy favorite. Good to see so many Swiss athletes on home soil as well. Well, Timo Zing. Representing the blue team, as I said, 490, just 19 years of age. And we'll be looking to crack that 5 meter mark down the line. And already you can see us, we're rifling through it. Every athlete is gonna jump one after each other. There's no such thing of skipping jumps, skipping vaults, shall I say. So if you're just joining us, welcome. And the crowd filling up really, really nicely here at Fribourg. It's an absolutely fantastic city. Community driven is at the heart, and at the heart of this event as well. Something we do want to potentially see more of, and I think the athletes would be grateful as well, is a team focused. And we've got the pink, black, blue, green, yellow, and red teams out here. But, well, again, in years to come, could this be brands? Could this be Puma, Nike, Adidas, all matching off against each other? Oh, sails over that one. You can see, really, really tidy. Flung himself up. Just, it's all about your highest point over the bar. And really, you can see how close he came down. And by the way, if they do knock the bar off, he was close, wasn't he, Zing? If they do knock the bar off, it will be another attempt, so it will not count. But let's see what that's come in at. Well, 416, that surprises me. He looked way higher than that. So, and I think that, again, will be a bit of a talking point as well, where they're exactly measuring from, and can we always trust the technology? And of course, going forward, how do you sort of grow this event at a grassroots level? Because it's very different, and like I said, if we were to see this at elite level, techniques you would think would change quite drastically. So here's Kitty Faye of Norway, 22-year-old, third of those European Under-23 championships last year. Oh, okay, well, disappointing to come down on the bar. It's a height she's more than capable of, 445. However, She is, it's back in June. She had a series of 3 competitions on the bounce, no heighted at all of them. Sometimes you get athletes who perhaps just taking a few risks at midpoint in the season, trying to get qualifying marks for the Olympic Games, European Championships as well. So perhaps there was a reason for it, but it was quite a surprise. Marie-Julie Bonin, representing that yellow team, 470, her lifetime best, also just 22 years of age. And at those under-23 championships, I mentioned Faye got 3rd. Well, this lady, she took victory. She took the gold medal. And, well, she'll know Moser very well. She'll be looking to follow in her footsteps. I'm sure they'll be communicating with one another down there. Pole vaulters have an absolutely fantastic relationship with one another. They spend so much time with each other on the circuit, and the sheer volume that these guys, these men and women compete at is quite mesmerizing, really. So often, 20, 25 plus competitions a year. So, Bonin up and over. She's looking at 4:30, 4:40 to take the lead. Over the bar, no surprises there, and now we're going to be intrigued. What's that effective height? Crowd loving it here. Like I said, it all stems from looking to speed up track and field in this format. We got a 90-minute window here as well, so it's great to see all these athletes take their first attempt. Men's 200 next on the track. 4 meters 21, so it's a closer competition. And I wonder if these athletes are strategically kind of approaching the competition like they would any other, in a way that they look to build through it and progress their heights throughout the competition. That's what they're used to, and I think that's maybe the attitude they'll come in, because someone like Moser, well, she'll be off to Zurich at that Diamond League, and hopefully see her at the Diamond League final as well. There she goes then, the red team's captain, Angelique Moser, 4 meters 88, her lifetime best. She's a European champion currently. Oh, up and over she goes. Well, it just looks a little slow on the approach, didn't it? But certainly got the height there in the end. And way, way, way over the bar, as you'd expect. And like I say, almost like a bit of a training vault for her. So, 4:32, well, this is great to see. She will go into 2nd place, her and Kisling. And for the battle there, 4:35 leading the way. So that's round 1. And we will continue through, like I said, 6 attempts. They will have a short break. They're used to having much longer, I guess, interim periods, pole vaulters, so they won't go straight after one another all throughout the afternoon. Now, moving on to the long jump, and we'll have Leah Springer, meet director here and organizer, explain it for us. The key changes to this event, what can we expect?
Fini les sauts mordus. Nous venons tester la zone de décollage, la take-off zone, qui se traduit par une planche de 30 cm et une marche additionnelle de 10 cm. C'est de cette zone que les athlètes vont prendre l'appel et on mesurera le saut effectif. La performance réelle depuis le point de décollage du pied jusqu'à la marque dans le sable. Les athlètes n'auront que 4 sauts pour rendre la compétition plus rapide et plus dynamique. Fini les sauts mordus. Nous venons tester la zone de décollage, la take-off zone, qui se traduit par une planche de 30 cm et une marche additionnelle de 10 cm. C'est de cette zone que les athlètes vont prendre...
Well, there we are. We just heard Leah Springer explain the event, but also Laszlo Klaas. Down there, she's captain of the pink, but that was Britt de Blore wearing the red, the Dutch woman, 6:04 lifetime best, that came indoors. So, by the way, you can just see there's a few lines on the floor to mark out that 40 centimeter takeoff zone, and actually it's not much bigger than the board. Bearing in mind the board is 20 centimeters or so, so that's a foul for de Blore. And they've just got to get inside that window. So actually, for a long jumper, you would approach this, well, pretty much identical to how you would any normal competition. You could just attack it a little bit more. You can just see those lines, they're faint blue ones. You can see just to the right of the white line there as well. So, Lazara Klastin, French woman, rocking the pink hair. She is the pink team's captain, European silver medalist in the heptathlon. this year, this time around, getting the crowd going here. Good to see her trackside and buying into this event as well. And I think as an athlete, if we are to see these changes, why not get the experience firsthand? So what's this going to come in at? We're hoping that we get the results a lot quicker as well because of the way it's being measured. Lazarus class, there we are. Green flag, of course, so she was in that 40 centimeters. And by the way, none of these results will count towards world ranking or anything like that. Athletes will just be informed of their marks and they can take them away. How did the pink team captain find it? The anticipation to see where this comes in at. And this is something I know we wanted to see, we wanted to basically speed up. So there's the gap, 45 centimeters off of where she could be. So, well, that's a shame. Haven't been able to bring you that result yet from Lazarus class. But over to Neja Filipic, and European indoor and outdoor finalist in the triple jump. So just working on a little bit of speed. You can attack the board a little bit faster in the long jump as well. So Filipic, the Slovenian, looking to come away with the spoils here in her non-favoured event, I suppose. You can see the crowd enjoying this. And the way they measure it, by the way, they've got a triangular camera set up. One on the board, one on that 40-centimeter takeoff zone, and then two right up high as well to calculate that distance. And their performance will also be measured to the current long jump rule as well. So they have a good indication of where their shape's at and where they are at this point in the season as well. So Filipic, the Slovenian, looking to see her go. Competing for the yellow team here, 6:61, her lifetime best. Very, very credible considering she's a triple jumper by trade, one of the best in the world at that. Okay, so attacks the board. Well, you can see, I mentioned before, she want to work on that speed. They've got the ability to really fly into it, not worry about their foot landing too much as long as they're in that 40-centimeter window, and quite frankly, it's not even that much. Michelle looking to interview her. There we go, trackside. And I will try and bring you the results. Haven't got them on my screen yet, so we'll keep an eye on the screen. There's the replay to see purely who is winning this competition so far. I can tell you as well, over on the far side, that men's 200-meter race is all but set to go. They're waiting patiently. And again, that will see no change, but just that reaction time reduced to 0.0 of a second. There you are. So she was right on the limit there. So in old times, that would be a foul, but not in track lab here. Just here to innovate and test all these ideas. And how it will look next year, I don't know whether they'll have more ideas as well. I presume we will find out in months to come. But it's exciting. The crowd are behind it as well. Beautiful venue, just clouding over. The athletes will welcome that because it was awfully sunny, awfully hot as well, just inside 30 degrees. So Filipic enjoying this, having a little bit of a party down there. Well, that's what they want as well. And they had a fantastic draw ceremony last night where athletes were there signing autographs with local kids and fans flocking to the area. It was a little bit Champions League-esque the way they were picking the balls out, picking the names out of the hat, or the tub if you like, and those team captains on display. It was just a good interactive experience, to be honest with you, and I think we need more of this. We've seen, you know, dare I say it, Grand Slam, and the rumors we're hearing about that, how that will look going into 2025 as well. So I think when change is going to come in, post-Olympic Games is the best time to really see it. You know, you've got the athletics in its traditional format, you've knocked it out the park, you've had 2 weeks to really tell the stories, but if we are going to make those changes, well, what better time to do it than in this kind of 4-year cycle that is starting now, and these athletes will already be thinking about it. Pauline Hundema then, Dutch woman, 6.76, her lifetime best, 6.69, right on around lifetime best territory. And is Hundema, very, very strong performer as well. She's had a pretty good summer. As Hundema, what can she do here? Again, another one who's been competing here, there, and everywhere over the last couple of weeks. So, great speed into the runway. And there we are. So, I've got that around about, well, it looks like sort of 650-ish. It's a green flag on the board. And I can say, regarding the long jump, we're just having a few problems getting their results, but yeah, we can see, so the camera on the board is working no problem at all. And is that a plus 0.2 or a plus 1.2 wind reading? So just getting a little bit of feedback from coach. One of the advantages field eventers have down there is they can get that feedback. Next to jump in will be Malika Gardasevic. She'll be representing the green team, 6.91 meters, her lifetime best, season's best of 6.76. World Indoor finalist, Mediterranean Games champion back in 2022, Gardasevic, 25 years of age. And represented our home nation, Serbia, at those Olympic Games in Paris. Such a good experience for many athletes, and it really was the pinnacle of our sport. It delivered for so many different reasons. I think speaking to a lot of the athletes, it just fuels them, doesn't it, for that next cycle as well. If you win, can you do it back-to-back? And if you have a disappointing Olympic Games, well, can you correct it in 4 years' time? So Gardasevic is someone who really is coming into her prime, been steadily improving year on year on year, and now 6.91. The next logical barrier for her is, of course, that 7 meters. Few women in the world have ever gone past it. Ah, Hundema still down there waiting for her result, and it's a bit of a shame. Someone needs to inform her that it won't come because we are having difficulties with it. So all the athletes just a little bit confused. It's at the moment, I think Gardasevic waited patiently. Also waited patiently. Those men running to 200 over on the far side. Men's javelin is warming up. They're going to see some big changes to the javelin as well. I will run you through those, and so will these great videos that we got from Leah Springer as well. Okay, then, Gardasevic, one to watch. She comes in here as one of the favorites. Rotaro Kotman, also of Romania. So Gardasevic, the Serbian, easily inside that takeoff zone. And I think, you know, very much the event is pretty much the same, but I just think the psychology is a little bit different. And like I said earlier, if you're an athlete, why not get involved? Because if this is something that they are going to lay out over the next few years, you want to have it the most experience possible at it. And again, it kind of just strips it back to that sort of training format where perhaps, you know, you're not worried about the board, you're working on your technique, your flight through the air, everything like that. 13 centimeters off the zone, off the edge of the zone there. And by the way, the mark should be taken off of the last point of contact on the ground to obviously where they land in the pit. That is where the distance is taken from on the long jump. So Gardasevic similar, waiting to see what her result is. And that will complete, well, Rotaro Kotman of Romania will complete round one. Representing the blue team, heavy favorite, you could say. World bronze medalist back in Budapest last year, 6.96. Here she goes, the 31-year-old. Right on her personal best this year, been awfully consistent. And, well, up until now, that really is what you need to be as a jumper, isn't it? If you can pull out these sorts of jumps when it counts at the majors, you usually come away with a medal. There we are, then Rotaro Kotman of Romania completes round one. 7th at those Olympic Games. And they're performing much better than she did at the European Championships earlier on in the year. So the men's 200-meter final will be up next. Let's have a look. Well, that looks pretty strong. That looks like it is good enough to get near the lead. And of course, it all does depend where they take off, so not quite as straightforward as measuring it from the board. It's looks in the region of around about 6:30 or something like that, so she'll enjoy. Look at that. Really getting into spirit of things down there, and that's great to see. So we'll, like I said, start to introduce these men doing the 200 before they go into round 2 of the women's long jump. Tamir Burnett will go on the inside, 2030, his lifetime best. Burnett, world indoor medalist over the 4x4. And, the Dutch team take those relays so seriously, don't they? And you know what, rightly so. Well, there's Ricardo Kottmann then. And I can say we've got some results coming in now, which is just fantastic. So Kottmann 6:57 leads the way. By the way, Filipic 6:59. That was with a following 2.5 meters per second wind. So a legal jump from her. The wind is swirling here, by the way, in Fribourg. Well, here goes De Bloor. Foul on attempt 1, and didn't like that one either, did she? So the results seem to be coming through now pretty much instantly, so this is much better. So the technological glitch they had early on seems to be pretty much resolved. But I did mention, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what his wind reading is now, because that men's 200, will that affect him? We've had wind right up to 2.5 meters a second, all the way down to sort of 1.1 meters per second, so quite a big differential.
Ils ont tous déjà couru cette année entre 19,99 et 20,30. La toute nouvelle piste du stade universitaire de Saint-Léonard.
So De Bloor watching where she went wrong. Quite frankly, hasn't grasped it just yet, has she? That 40-centimeter takeoff zone. And well, a few more attempts to really figure it out. Just halfway into that second round, which will be halfway through that women's long jump competition. Okay, the men's 200 look like we are ready to rock and roll over on the far side. I mentioned in one, Tamir Burnett from the Netherlands. All eyes on Timothy Mamatala, then the Swissman. 2028 his lifetime best, and of course Will Rees, European bronze medalist in 2024. Mamatala, the champion from lane 8, by the way. It really was Swiss domination in Rome way back at the end of May, wasn't it? End of May, June time. So there you are then. Will Rees, he didn't start in his Olympic Games semi-finalist. And 8th in Lausanne the other night, 20:75. So, but this man, well, what a character he is. Come through that NCAA system. Mazwangani, sure, Mazwangani of South Africa, the only man to break 20 seconds in this field. And when asked what were his thoughts on the team focus here, he said, look, I've come through the NCAA system. Team is all I know. And former University of Houston athlete, having a great season is Mazwangani. He probably comes in here as favorite, the Olympic silver medalist in the 4x1. Well, there he is then. In 4 on the inside of him, Timothy Mamatala. Where's that blue bib? 21 years of age, and I mentioned the European champion all the way out from lane 8. He's comfortable there, he doesn't mind it. Had a good old battle with Tortu, didn't he? Dropped him that time around, came out on top, but unfortunately knocked out in those rounds in Paris at the Olympic Games. We'll be looking to make amends for that and build through in this second half of the season. So Simon Verhaestratton, the Belgian athlete, 2013, good lifetime best this year. All of these men right on the cusp, really, of that 22nd mark. National record holder. And interesting fact, he ran it on Swiss soil, so he enjoys this country. 600 meters of elevation we are currently at. So altitude on their side. Kobe Flemingston representing the pink team, 4th in the European 4x1 final for 2024. He was on the same team as Verhaestratton. So then crowd waiting in anticipation, binoculars out. Keeping an eye over on the far side. They've waited patiently, these men. And Tamir Benet then on the inside. Tamir, world indoor medalist, also in the 4x4, European medalist. He's a key man on the Dutch quartets when it comes to the relays, even over the 400 and over the 100. So he's a bit of a talent in that regard. They take their marks then. So, Race, Mazwangani, Norman Taylor, Verstraeten, Fleming, and Burnett on the inside. Six men fighting for team points. So away we go then. Good start on the outside by Reese, but look at Mazwangani. He is the man who is here to impress. He's a team captain. He's got to lead by example. These are great aerial shots around the bend as well. Verstraeten of Belgium looking to give chase. Vleming's surprise from Belgium as well. Mazwangani just tying up a little bit in two. Is it going to be Vleming's? No, Mazwangani takes it. 20:45. For the South African. Well, do you know what? He's had a lot of team captain duties as well. Came through, and do you know what? For a period, 30:40 to go, you're looking at Vlemings, and you're just thinking, can he hold on here? He was powering through the early part, coming off the bend as well. Had a great transition. But Mazwangani, well, cream rose to the top, really, didn't it? And even with fatigue at the end of a long season like he's had, he's got a couple more races in him, no doubt. It's a good sharpener here in Fribourg for him, and enjoying the crowd here. There you go then. There's a photo finish, and we got to look at the reaction time as well. Don't worry, it's not the night of 10,000s. It's the Fribourg Track Lab, innovation at the heart here, and just held on, didn't he? It was just had the ability to stay relaxed. I mentioned he performed very, very well. African record and national record over the 4x1 at the Olympics. Came away with that silver. And him and Louis Hinchcliffe, old training partners at Houston. Hinchcliffe, the bronze for Great Britain on that occasion, also in the 4x1. I know they had some good banter around that. So the mixed pole vault competition, Lambert had two. Oh, well, that's a shame. Way. His height was terrific, and I think this is one of the problems that athletes will obviously have to adapt to over time. Is the technique changes. He was so focused on getting that peak height that he wasn't so worried about the bar, and he's coming down on it. And just far too close. So he'll look to change that. And the positive is they've moved themselves into round two. And so he's still got 6 jumps, so he's still got 4 to correct himself. And I mentioned earlier, will we see athletes kind of progress throughout the competition, look to up their heights, like they would in any traditional format. Lazar Klastin, the heptathlete, 587 in round 1. She goes in round 2. Down the runway, solid. Okay. Well, with this angle, hard to tell just how far that one was. A wind reading of 0.8 meters per second, so that's a positive. And we'll wait patiently for that result to come in. It has been a little bit lapsed on the long jump competition. But I know definitely moving forward, that is something that the organizers at World Athletics want to see. They want to see instant marks come up on the screen so fans can really engage with it. Athletes can celebrate it instantly as well. Well, Fabio Kissling, back over to him. He currently leads the way. Moser chasing him down. Angelica Moser, the red team captain, there she is in the orange, just setting herself behind. But Kissling in round 2, 4:35. He'll be enjoying this crowd out here. What an honor it is for someone like him as well to compete alongside the decorated Moser. It's mixed competition in the pole vault, and it does allow for it, doesn't it? When you've got the bar at a fixed height and you're just looking at the effective height off the ground, it does allow for mixed competitions. And so So I wonder if we'll see more of that as well. You could potentially have more athletes in a competition as well, because you're only limiting yourself to 6 vaults throughout the afternoon. So, well, 45 minutes or so into the action here in Fribourg. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Next on the track, by the way, will be that women's 800 meters. I'll just bring you some quick results from that 200. Sean Mazwangani, he won that at 20:44. That was the official time. All reaction times were legal, so these times will count. And, well, Kirby Vlemix was second, 20:53. William Rees of Switzerland, 20:67. And Simon Verhastraten down in 4th, 20:67 for him. But Tamir Bennett and Timothy Mamatsala pulling up 52:52. So jogging round the top bend and down the home straight. Women's long jump on the runway. Naya Filipic as well. She's currently going as we are waiting for Kissling to take his second attempt in this men's vault. Current leader, 4 meters in 35, effective height, that's off the ground, bar at 4 meters. We'll stay here all afternoon. I know there were a few talks about potentially moving the bar, but it would be confusing for us viewers at home to judge how far over he was getting. That's what we're measuring it on this afternoon. It's a new format. There you are. Clears it comfortably again. And let's see what this one comes in at. Another, would you believe it? Another 4 meters and 35 centimeters. Well, what are the chances? What are the chances if my results system is correct? Coming in at 4:35 again, so he's awfully consistent. And there we are, ratified on your screen for you. The Swiss native, Timo Zing, the better of the 3 men on paper. When you look at lifetime best, he's to vault next, but 4:16. And well, here was Filipic of Slovenia in the women's long jump. Ooh, didn't like that, didn't land, did she? And this is what I mean. I think it is just psychologically a very, very difficult change for these athletes. They're so used to rhythm, and really kind of, when they land on the board, responding from the board. It does have a little bit of give in it as well. They've left the board in for that reason in this event, but I just wonder, a few of them not quite adapting. So Filipic, by the way, that was a foul as well. And Hondimas to go next. Meanwhile, Timo Zing, 4:16. He's capable of way, way high up, proving it here. Bar stays on. So the height will count, at least for the purpose of this competition. Not for lifetime best, but I think it will be quite, oh, wow. Absolutely soared over it, didn't he? So 4 meters and 42. I've got the result coming in at, so he will take the lead. Improves on Kissling's 4 meters and 35 centimeters by 7 centimeters there. So Timo Zing, well, arguably the favorite, goes into the lead. And you've got a Swiss 1-4, but NFA down the bottom there. Here is Faye then, the Norwegian. And what a healthy place Norwegian athletics is in. Quickly pan back, fast-paced action here. This is Gardasevic. And it's clear again, that wind just calming down a little bit. That's good to see, 0.7 meters a second. Gardasevic, world indoor finalist, 5-time Serbian national champion. Just looking to see what that one comes in at. Quite difficult, the camera angle we got on that pit. Just making it a little tricky for us to really see how they match up against the board. But, well, a little rise smile building into it. 2 more attempts for these athletes. So, again, because they haven't got 6 attempts, they really need to attack it and get them right early on in the competition. Not as much time to build into it, that's for sure. Ritara Kottman will be the next on the runway. Meanwhile, Benin up at the pole vault here. We've got eyes on the French woman. The under-23 European champion. Having a strong 2024. But perhaps when you're a European champion, you really want to continue to bounce off of that. So lifetime best at 4 meters in 70. Set that in France back in July 2024, and she'll just be looking to up and up and up. And like you said, it's one of those ones you can get into the 480s, you could be fighting for medals as long as you're consistent at that mark. So here goes Bonin of France for the yellow team, as you can see, up, over, that's better. Okay, I was surprised by, to be honest, very surprised by her previous jump before 21. I thought she went much higher than that. Let's get a look at the angle. Wow, seems to clear that by some margin, but it's only coming in at 4 meters and 15, so only 15 centimeters or so over the bar for Benin. Angelica Moser, favorite to go next. 4:32 her first attempt. Women's 800 next track event. They are in their lanes, waiting to get cracky in here, being introduced to the crowd, getting their final stride outs as well. It's a fantastic surface, newly relay surface here in Fribourg. Cloud covering over as well, cooling down for these athletes. Here we are, the Ricardo Kottman of Romania. Oh, didn't like that one, did she? Just didn't connect. And I wonder if this is the case. I wonder if they're just not connecting with the board. They're not getting that kind of intuitive satisfaction that they often get. Okay, Angelica Moser, here she goes. Can she challenge for the lead? No, didn't like that one at all, did she? So, doesn't look pleased either, really. But great to have her here, to be honest. Local meet, really. Be connecting with the fans in the sport as well. So the Swiss athlete, a lot of pressure on her shoulders actually here to come here and deliver. A little bit like whenever Mondo jumps on Swedish soil. Moser very similar. When she jumps on Swiss soil, she really wants to perform. And I mean, the Swiss are spoiled for meets, aren't they? When you think Lausanne and Zurich, some of the best diamond leagues in the world. And well, can Fribourg reach that sort of level over the next few years? All right then, the women's 800 meters, the next on the track. On the inside, Coro of Italy, 1:59.19, her lifetime best. By the way, this field absolutely stellar, and we've got some really world-class talent. By the way, the pacer, Vera Pereira, that was you just eyes on her. She's got a 2:3 lifetime best. She's going to be pacing these women out here today. We've got the wave lights. But, well, what about this lady then? Orji Wedo. Representing the blue team, 1:58.13, her lifetime best. Season best, 1:58.67, two-time European Junior Champion, 2021 and 2023, and just still 20 years of age. It's mesmerizing, really, the level of Wedo. Phenomenal 400 speed as well. Getting over then, European silver medalist this year, not far behind Keely Hodgkinson on that day. Keely Hodgkinson was ill, but yeah, going over really. That last 20, 30 minutes was closing down. I think it came as a bit of a shock to her, didn't it? Slovakian, 1:58.22. Well, here's another Swiss athlete performing very, very well this year. Valentina Rosamila, 1:58.69, her lifetime best. Rosamila was semi-finalist at those Olympic Games, third at the Swiss Championships as well. Inside of her, Angelika Sana of Poland, 1:59.63. Great lifetime best, European finalist, finished 8th there. 2:37K she ran the other day over in Germany, by the way. So in strong form, showing she's still got some good strength. And Cotto on the inside there. Not bad to do a kilometre this time of year. To just, again, improve on that strength, because you are starting to just run out of steam a little bit. And by the way, an athlete I haven't mentioned yet, Erin Wallace, running the outside. Trains alongside Keely Hodgkinson, European under-23 bronze medalist behind Wedo. Well, she was a semi-finalist at the Europeans as well was Wallace. She paced Keely Hodgkins, that phenomenal world lead in the London Diamond League. So Wallace can get out hard, but Wedo looks to be tracking the pacemaker over on the far side. You can see they're right on the pace lights, and this is going to be telling. Do these women really want to get after it here today as they slowly cut across? Wallace in good form over the 800 and the 1500 this season. A lot of these women in that 158 mark, as I mentioned, so 27.8 through that first 200. That's the pacemaker. So the field, it is quick enough. Sort of 28 low to 29 seconds. So that would bring them through sort of 57, 58 through their first lap. I think Wedo wants to put on a bit of a show here. Gayavana won't mind this at all. Rosamilia as well in third place at the moment. The Swiss athlete as they're coming down the home straight in front of the home crowd here, the bandstand, and Wedo just looking to stretch out. She's going to have to run this one from the front, slipping off the lights just a little bit. Pace is doing a fantastic job. 57.5 through that first lap. And Wedo will find that fairly comfortable, to be honest. She's got 52-second 400-meter speed, but she hasn't been in this position too many times in her life. To have gapped the field with 300 meters to run. The World Under-20 silver medalist as well, unfortunately knocked out in the repechage round at the Olympic Games. Oh, look at Wallace in her strength starting to pay off. She's moving up on the outside. That's the European silver medalist in Guyana, in second place that Wallace is looking to come up on. But is anyone going to get near Wedo at this point in the race? The crowd know what they're witnessing. Slight pump of the cheeks for Wedo. And the athletes behind just don't seem to respond. They look a little bit flat, if you ask me. They've all come off, bouncing off that Olympic Games, but so has Wedo. She comes down here to a standing ovation. Watch the clock, ladies and gentlemen, because she could be close to a lifetime best. 1:58 low. It's going to be awfully tight. Oh, 1:58.82 unofficially. Dominated, and fair play to her. She was one of the few who got after it early on, and sometimes you get that gap in an 800. It's a tall order to close. She would have enjoyed that for the blue team. Max points as well, by the way. She'll take home 8 points for them. Team captain will be very, very happy. Let's hear from her trackside.
J'ai essayé de suivre la lumière pour avoir un bon rythme et faire un beau chrono à la fin.
On a eu l'impression, sur les derniers 100 mètres, tu as senti le public et tu as vu cette ligne qui tout à coup revenait de plus en plus près.
Oui, c'est ça, j'ai vu que je me rapprochais de la ligne et avec les encouragements du public, ça m'encourageait à donner tout et aller encore plus vite.
Record du stade, Audrey.
Ouais, je suis contente d'avoir fait un record sur la stade. Je m'entraîne tous les jours.
Le stade où elle s'entraîne tous les jours. Une acclamation, mesdames et messieurs. Audrey Véron.
I think I took from that she was rather tired, and but what a victory here. 1:58.79, her official time, by the way. Gayanova held on for second, 1:59.86, and in third, Corio of Italy, 1:59.90. Wallace, by the way, fourth place, 2 flat, and Sana in fifth in 2 flat as well, the pole. Lambert, a 2 up at the top then in the pole vault. That's better from him. Fouled out in his second attempt, didn't he? So a bit better to see him over the bar. And Wero, by the way, is getting absolute standing ovation down on the home straight. Crowd enjoyed that. Goodness me. Lambert, a 2. That is a big jump. Coming up on the screen, let's have a look what this is going to come in at. 4 meters and 21 centimeters is effective height. Again, it looks much higher than that, doesn't it? And sometimes I think they need that motivation of the bar being higher. They go into it maybe a little bit lethargic. They know they can clear the bar. So I think there's a happy medium between how far over you go and what that bar height is. They're so used to having that psychological barrier. Okay, they pan back to the women's long jump for the red team there, the block. Into the pit, third attempt. Wind reading 1.3 meters a second there, you can see. It's a tailwind as well. And this is interesting, you would expect. The Bloor is someone who hasn't quite clicked for her yet throughout this competition. I mean, a lifetime best of 6 meters and 4 centimeters. And you'd come in here knowing you've got that leeway of 40 centimeters, really looking to push the boundaries and really looking to attack. Many of these many field eventers often have training PBs and competition PBs because, you know, sometimes you're training less pressure, you're in that flow state, you're a lot more relaxed, you might have better conditions, you're used to the track surface that you always train on, and so they know they can always pretty much jump further, throw further as well, and of course jump higher. Okay, then getting the crowd going. There's pink teams. Team captain Ariana Lazdak, class 564 in round 2, 587 wind assisted in that first round. Attacks aboard, that's better. Looks like that is going to be clear of 6 meters. She'll hope so anyway. 598 by De Bloor, her third round attempt. Lazdak class, the heptathlete, 635. Very, very strong jumping for a heptathlete and a European silver medalist in that discipline. Timo Zingden. Oh, way over that. That's better. Way clear. Right smile from him. Third round. Looked to be way clear. Coming up on my reading is 4 meters and 7 centimeters. And I'm intrigued to get a replay on this one to really see in the distance that he's got over that bar. There we are, almost a packed house now on this home straight, under the shade. A beautiful Sunday afternoon. So Kitty Fay, 4 meters and 4 centimeters in 2. She's much better than that. She knows it. Interestingly, a lot of athletes choose to kind of put tack on their hands. She's gone with a glove, and of course, I'm sure she'll have tack as well to really grip that pole. It's a fine balance between the two. So, psyching herself up, getting herself in the zone. Always great images to see athletes in that pure kind of Zen state, focusing on the task at hand. Visualization, huge imperative, really, at this level. Here she goes in, good speed, that's much better from her, that's much better, that's got to be way, way further, or higher, shall I say, than that 4 meters and 4 centimeters. That's going to challenge up the leaderboards, you'd like to think. 4:23, I've got that on my screen. Look at that, much, much better from her. And 4:43, her lifetime best. Can she get a lot closer to that? European under-23 bronze medalist from last year, the Norwegian. Okay, on the runway, you are looking at Pauline Handema for the black team. 6:52 round 1, 6:36 round 2. Here she goes. She has one of the longest run-ups in the game, does Handema. I guess the fear of that, or the drawback to a long run-up, is yes, more time to gain speed, but also more time to lose speed. And rhythm as well. You have to carry it for longer. However, nice smile from her. Can she challenge that 6:52? Which, by the way, was a strong earlier on in this competition. Dima lifetime best of 6:76, so nearing that. Benin of France in the pole vault. Lies in 6th place at the moment, 21 and 4:15. An athlete at 4:70. Is used to being much, much higher up the pecking order. Here she goes clear once again. So the attempt will count. And what height we're going to come in at? Let's have a look. Wow, that looks better, doesn't it? Looks much better than that 4:21 from round 1. The French woman. Yes, it is. There we are, 4:31 up the leaderboard. And now on the coattails of Moser. That will fill her with a lot of confidence. Moser, a 4:32 jumper. And that will excite her. Next track event, by the way, is a men's 400 meters. That's off at 5:15, so in 10 minutes time or so. Javelin looking to get started in just a moment's time. And then to crown off the afternoon here will be that steeplechase mile. On the runway, Gardasevich, capable of much, much more than the 6:29 and 6:10 we've seen from her. Interesting to see, isn't it? You can often tell a lot from athletes' facial expressions, but reminding us she is Team Green. Who else is Team Green? Her captain, Alison dos Santos. And looking to be taken to the track, the world champion from 2022 over those 400 hurdles. Multiple Olympic medalist as well. And here's Moser, Angelica Moser. This is the one a lot of the crowd have come in to see, been able to connect with her throughout the day and yesterday as well at that prize draw, at the team draw, sorry. Prize giving, well, that will come after, that will come tonight. DJ down on the infield, former European medalist, European under-23 medalist in the sprints, doing a great job keeping the atmosphere rolling here. So Angelica Moser representing Puma, Swiss athlete, just readjusting, just getting a little bit more chalk on her hands. You want to jump when you are confident, you are 100% ready. And again, just looking to fling yourself over that bar a little bit more. Be interested to see how the athletes, to see whether they enjoy the adaptation of their event. Oh, much, much better. Much, much better from Moser. And I think athletes might not, I think what you might lose is, you know, they might not get that instant gratification, that instant reward from going clear over the bar, because that is just reward straight away, right? They have to wait to see what their mark is. So 4 meters and 41 for Moser. Strong mark from her. And that will put her into third. That will bump her up the pecking order. Once again, Ritara Kottmann in third round. 6:57. Leading. If you take out Filipic, wind assisted 6:59. So Ritara Kottmann, the Romanian, competing here for the blue team as well. Good wind, and you know what? That looks like it's out towards 7 meters. Well, hey, look at this thing. Well, what about that for trackside seats? You're right on it. You can almost touch the pit. And those kids, hopefully they've been inspired for life. We've got a few future long jumpers amongst us, and well, they may be watching an event that actually, we're seeing this event for the first time, but they may be competing in this format. Give it 5-10 years time, maybe they're locked in. So 6:54 I've got officially from Ritara Kottmann. Good time now to check out the team standings. And yellow team lead the way at the moment. 20 points for them. Black in second, 15 blue for 13. Ritara Kottmann, though, if she can win here, she'll get some good points for the blue team. And the green, well, like I said, Garlicevic, you'd expect her to be higher up. And, well, Dos Santos setting himself to go in the men's 400 meters. It's going to be fascinating to see him compete over the flat so often, hurdling throughout the season. But your flat speed, an important indicator of what you can do over the hurdles for sure. 44.54, Dos Santos' lifetime best. And he will go in lane 4. Men's javelin. Eyes on the man in green, Sorgelus. Attempt number 1. So the javelin, by the way, changes to this. They're going to have 4 attempts, just like we're seeing in the long jump. So they're going to speed through it. And basically no changes to how the events run, but just how it's measured. They're only going to measure their best throw. So after the first round, every throw will get measured through this first round, of course. And after round 1, they're only going to measure the next. They're only going to bother measuring, sorry, if you do beat that original mark. So just over 70 meters for Cedric Sorgelus of Belgium. Way down on what he's actually capable of. The second of those Belgian championships. This man, 79.82, his lifetime best, but he is, you know, through the age groups, he's had a fantastic time. He's the under-20 and under-18 national record holder for the javelin at those respective weights as well. So he showed fine promise as a youngster, as a junior, and now continuing to deliver on the senior stage. And it is, you've got to be, it's a patient transition. So they put a little flag in the ground, and so the athletes have that visual mark that they're aiming for. Like I said, they will only be measuring, and this is one of the few events as well which will be ratified on the World Athletics system, and they'll get ranking points for and so on. Tobias Lane in of Finland, youngster, 23-year-old. Oh, well, that would take the lead, no question mark about that. The under-23 European champion from 2021. Came back as a medalist last year as well. He had a good time in that age group, going for the red team here. Tobias Lane Lifetime best of 81 meters. So a little way off that. That's going to be more like sort of 72 or so. 71.38 I've got on my screen. So I can tell you those at home. 71.03 as well for Soglu. So attempt one for those two men to kickstart this javelin competition. I think as well it's going to be a bit more visually rewarding for us at home, seeing these little picks in the ground and knowing that, well, they just got to beat their mark, knowing exactly where that mark is. And I think certainly in the stadium they'll enjoy that factor to it. Well, Katis Jaks of Latvia. Oh, okay. Well, some serious height to it, but not much distance at all from the Latvian, the under-20, by the way, world champion back in 2014, 10 years ago. Anniversary of that result. 87.57 though is his lifetime best. So capable of much, much more. 69.45. I got on my screen for Jaks. Of Latvia. And there you are. Current standings in lane. Sogalus and Jaks. Madisufijits will go next for Lithuania. 28-year-old, 89.17, his lifetime best. Well, soars into the lead here. Much better. World Championships finalist back in 2022. Multiple champion at that World University Games. Wearing that pink bib. He's got some heavy strapping on as well on his arm, carrying a little bit of knocks. That point of the season, isn't it? Where athletes do start to struggle a little bit mentally and physically. And we are into September. I can't believe still got a couple of Diamond Leagues to go as well, that final. 74.46 then for Madisufijits. Here we are, Julius Iego, 35-year-old Kenyan world champion back in 2015. Looks to be carrying a horrible injury because he threw that with no run-up at all. So whether he's injured himself, he's thrown that out. It just shows you how capable these men are. No momentum at all, and he's thrown that out to the sort of 40-meter mark. See what this comes in at. The Kenyan, he's had a storied career. He really has. 48.73, so he's on the floor. He's in absolute agony. What's wrong? Not entirely sure. I'm sure we'll hopefully get wind of that. Anderson Peters then. What a fantastic night he had the other day. Showing 90 meters in Lausanne recently. Is the African record holder, the national record holder of Grenada as well. Area record holder, sorry. National record over Grenada, 93 meters in 7 centimeters. The 26-year-old, fantastic year he's having. Oh, will he take the lead? Oh, just in the lead then, right on that 80-meter mark. He'll fall just inside. And again, some way off what he's capable of, the double world champion 2019 and 2022. And you know what, interestingly, Peters came through that NCAA system and he was the NCAA champion and the world champion in the same year. Worlds coming in October, wasn't it, out in Qatar, Doha. And so almost had two peaks, NCAAs in June and then the Worlds. But not often you see that. Very, very rarely do you see a man win the NCAA title and then go on to be a world champion. 74.52. Well short, sorry, of the 80-meter line, just inside the 75-meter line. So there we are in Lazar class. Final jump for her. We're into round 4 of this women's long jump competition. So far, 587, 564, and 558. Great to see 3 legal jumps, shall I say. This will be a 4th, the Lazar class. And that's another area which I think the crowd, us at home and what I think, they want to see more of. They want to see more legal jumps, less fouls, more legal jumps. Hence the 40-centimeter takeoff zone. And this was, when this was announced, and I think, it was leaked almost, wasn't it, earlier on in the year. And when athletes were getting wind of it, there really was a lot of kickback. And kickback coming from those who probably face the most jeopardy, those at the top of the game who are world leaders. But, well, Britt de Bloor next to go. Completes her competition and what she jumped in this 4th round. Any improvement on 5 meters and 98 centimeters. Sits in 5th at the moment. De Bloor would like to improve on that, get a few more points for that red team. Chatting trackside, and this is just great intel for the crowd, really, to sort of see these conversations and discussions that coach and athlete would have amongst themselves, and just pick up little words of wisdom, little pointers and cues. I'm sure a lot sitting down there are big fan favorites of the long jump. They're also right on that finish line as well. Touching distance of those athletes, 5.97 by the way from the Bloor, so no improvement on that 5.98 in round 3. Gardasevic then to complete her competition here. That's better from her. Slightly underwhelming has the Serbian been. Interacting nicely with the crowd. There she is, inspiring the next generation as well. She's got some green team supporters. So that's, well, it's clear of 6 meters, certainly, but it all depends where her foot left the ground, with what that mark will come in at. She'll be close to a sort of 6.29 leading mark. That came in round 1, and actually, she's potentially, well, it's come up as a foul. It looked like she was good on the board, but I think perhaps potentially just telling officials, look, not to worry, don't bother measuring it. So Hondima sitting in 3rd here. Oh, that's good from her. Crowd certainly like it down there, trackside as well. 6.52. Nice mark from her, almost 20 centimeters or so off her best. The black team, by the way, they were leading, weren't they? So Hondima, if she can hold on to that 3rd position, which she has done, and just looking, she will come away with 4 points for the black team. So good jumping from her. And I think one of the things that we are seeing, by the way, but we're seeing every single round, we're really telling the story here in Fribourg at the Track Lab. Innovation at the heart of this competition, as well as the team focus of the pole vaulters as well. We're seeing each round that they vault. We're seeing the long jump as well, and I think the slightly shorter format, faster pace as well. Rotara Kopman of Romania. Heavy favorite coming into this. Former world's bronze medalist in 2023. 6.96 her lifetime best. Surprisingly, 7th in the games and only 9th in that European Championships in Rome. Big time performer, turned up on the occasion. Would have liked to get on the medals, I'm sure, at the Olympics. Couldn't quite manage it. What can the Romanian do? 4th attempt here in Fribourg. That's much better. That's got to be the furthest we see of the day. 6.57. Sits in 2nd place at the moment. Legal win there. We'll wait. We'll anticipate what this mark is going to be, but she certainly seems happy. You could tell so much, can't you, from their reaction. They know. Intrinsically, they feel it. They're very intuitive jumpers. 13.9 centimeters off the takeoff zone there, but doesn't matter so much. Here she goes then, reacting with the crowd. What's it going to be? 6.64 into the lead in for Rotara Kopman. Take it, the final round, the 4th round for her. Now, all eyes on Filipic, who is going to have to respond. So far, 6.59 was in round 1. That was with an illegal wind. So, with a legal wind down there, well, it certainly was legal at 1.5 meters a second for Rotara Kopman. And she's going to need that wind to stay somewhere in that region as Filipic in order to soar out a better, that's 6.64. What can she do? 6.53, her lifetime best. That's off the board, of course. Wow, let's get a look. Let's take a look at that sandpit. That's the only way we're going to know for sure off of these initial reactions. Those kids. Wow, I don't think that's not going to better 6.64 in my opinion. Of course, it depends where she takes off. It is quite far back. It's a big gap there, 26.4 centimeters. Well, much bigger than what Rotara Kopman's was. Wind slightly less. Can the Slovenian spoil the party? Can she steal the show here? The European outdoor finalist in the triple jump. Oh, 6.57. So a consistent series of jumps for her, but not gonna take the spoils. Nonetheless, superb jumping from the Slovenian and the triple jumper at heart. So then next on the track, the men's 400 meters. one lap of this circuit. It's a tight, intimate track here in Fribourg. Can be right up on those advertising boards. And look at these aerial images. You can just see how beautiful the landscape is. And well, after that event, we get an update. There's standings. Team Yellow leading the way. Green struggling down at the bottom. Blue and Black competing well. 8 points, by the way, for a victory. So if Eugene O'Mala, the blue captain, can upset Dos Santos and get the victory here, he will be able to hopefully jump above the yellows, depending on where Kevin Borlée comes. 2 Borlées in this 400-meter final, by the way. It's great to see the pair of them, the brothers, who have been going so strong. Rumors about retirement coming soon, but Borlée, 3 times world champion, bronze medalist. And often coming in the relays as well, European champion and world indoor champion in his time as well. 44.56, his lifetime best. He, by the way, goes on the inside. Giles Byron goes on the outside of him, but right on the outside, and that's Dylan Borlée. And of course, look awfully similar. The Borlées, a family of 400-meter runners of just athletic prowess, really. The 31-year-old, 45.32. His season's best, 45.09, by the way, his lifetime best. He's coming into his best form. And of course, he was on that national record team at the Olympic Games. Lionel Spitzden of Switzerland representing the pink team, 45.01. Spitz went to the Olympic Games. And here's the man of the moment then, the Brazilian, the Dos Santos, 2-time Olympic medalist, former world champion. Still just 24 years of age. What a career he has ahead of him. Still in the event. And some fantastic duels against the likes of Warholm and Benjamin over the years. Eugene O'Mala then, the blue captain, 45.18. And that lifetime best, by the way, for the 23-year-old, coming indoors. Loves the boards, does O'Mala. Key member of their quartet. He's Olympic champion in that mixed relay. Gilles Byron then. Byron of France, 29-year-old, 45.05, goes into, right on the inside. Mentioned him early program, Kevin Borlée for the yellows. Dialed in. 44.56, lifetime best. Struggling to get near that 45.99 season's best, so he's dipped inside that 46 mark at least. He's going to do well to keep pace with this field. Dos Santos, all eyes on him in 4. And when a 400 hurdler steps down to the 400, I say steps down, runs over the flat, they really, really want to test their speed, and they don't often get a chance to do it. And they're going to want to come and attack a lifetime best, that's for sure. So he's got a few more races ahead of him. Dos Santos over the hurdles, a few more matchups with Warholm and Benjamin. Of course, Warholm looking ahead to that 100-meter matchup between Mondo. So men's 400 here at Track Lab, penultimate track event of the afternoon. Well, reaction time, by the way, accounts for this as well. Athletes are able to have their 0.0 second reaction time. Dos Santos going straight up past Spitz. He started fast, hasn't he? At this stage, he's starting to enjoy the fact that he hasn't got any hurdles to get over. On the outside as well, Dylan Borlée, the faster of the 2 Borlées this season. Right up on Dos Santos already is O'Mala. Eugene O'Mala, the Dutchman, looking very, very strong. He's an Olympic champion over the 4x4, still 23 years of age. National record holder and area record holder indoors. Competes in the NCAA, Ugandan athlete, transferring to Netherlands just recently as well. Dos Santos is going to have the strength over this last 50. You would have thought those 400 hurdles coming strong, but Borlée on the outside is going to take it. 45.92, perhaps a little bit of an underwhelming time there. And, well, what a run from Borlée. He'll be chuffed with that. He's taken some scalps, and that's what matters. When the time doesn't look that impressive, the scalps count and who you beat here. So Borlée 45.87, O'Mala 46.05, and Dos Santos 46.06, and these men very, very tired. And I tell you what, you know, people like Dos Santos and O'Mara, their team captains, they've had to fire up their team a lot. They've also had to be down there doing a lot of interactions with the fans alike. Here we are, let's hear from Borlé.
Grâce au public, j'ai pu bien finir et l'emporter.
Devant des grands noms de l'athlétisme mondial.
Oui, c'est sûr, ça fait toujours plaisir. Mais voilà, en toute humilité, ça reste... voilà, Alisson Dos Santos, c'est sûr que ça fait plaisir de gagner, mais j'ai beaucoup de respect, beaucoup d'admiration pour ce qu'il a déjà accompli.
Merci, bravo à toi. Nadine Visser a été la première à le féliciter pour la Belgique. Team Black, Dylan Borlé.
Et on retourne après ce 400.
Well, let's have a look back at this one. Dos Santos gets out awfully hard. He's straight up on spits at that point, who, quite frankly, show coming off that top bending. It was O'Mara and Dos Santos, whether the camera angle was just tricking us, but Borlé edges it on the line. Superb running from the Belgian. Well, back to that pole vault competition then, into their fourth round. A couple more rounds to go as well. Lambert Hatou. 4 meters in 27 centimeters for him. That's coming through on my board. So just shy of his first round, 4:29. Still going to stay in 5th at the moment. So we'll be turning to the javelin as well, which is currently taking place. And here comes the explanation of the new rules.
Nous mesurons uniquement les jets qui sont allés plus loin. Si l'athlète ne parvient pas au résultat, son essai est considéré comme nul. Une marque visuelle est placée dans l'aire de lancer pour savoir directement si le jet est allé plus loin ou non. Les athlètes auront uniquement 4 lancers pour rendre le concours plus rapide et plus dynamique.
There you are, faster and more dynamic being the word of this competition. Men's javelin into the second round. Sorgeluz is going to be first to throw, 71 meters and 3 centimeters from his first round throw. This, however, eyes on Tobias Lane of Finland. Keeping an eye, that's men's pole vault as well, up on the top there, so just panning to them. So Tobias Lane getting ready to go. He's a man who comes here with 81 meters and 67 centimeters as his lifetime best, former European under-23 champion as well, sits in 3rd place. And a lot of these men in their first round, a little bit off the mark, and to be expected this time in the season. It's all about winning, really, and that's why we've got the teams to focus on. And if he doesn't beat that little red picket out on the infield, they won't bother measuring it, and he gets nowhere near it. So, checker flag up for him. Fouls over as well. And the officials can swiftly grab the javelin, take it back to him, and the next thrower will go. So, Gatis Jaks of Latvia to throw next, and he sits down in 5th. He is capable of much, much more than that. Whether we'll see any more of Jago this afternoon, I'm not sure. I know he's struggling. He's decided to throw without a run-up. He knows he's not going to feature if he can't get that momentum on the runway. And so a lot of height there, to be honest, for Tobias Lane. The Finn. And Finland and Sweden, by the way, having that famous match just a couple nights ago where they do battle. 2 Scandinavian powerhouses in track and field. 2 nations that really do have some incredible coaching and athletes when it comes from the field events as well. Well, here goes Jackson of Latvia, 69.45. Can he get out there beyond his first round flag? No, he can't. Wow, falling well short. Well, conditions are muggy. The wind's picking up a little bit of a crosswind and stuff. But for some reason, it's just not clicking for these javelin throwers at the moment. Jax, you can tell, not enjoying himself in round 2. So 3 fouls so far, and of course, only going to measure those rounds. Here's Kitty Fay, 4:23 in round 3. 3 more attempts for her. They're having a nice rest in between rounds, by the way, these pole vaulters. So doing it for the Greens, who are competing for the win. Oh, okay, failure. And that attempt will not count. Former medalist at junior level over the pole vault. Here we are then, Matusevicius. What can he do? Oh, okay, well, almost an improvement. It's going to be very close. There you are then. That gives us some perspective. There are terrific camera angles here. We've got the drones flying overhead, but yeah, that will go down as another foul in that men's javelin. So it is purely turn up. What can you throw and go home? Fast pace, and now they'll just wait for that next round. And I think sometimes javelin throwers and throwers in general like to sort of get that consistency. And well, you can see it's consistent, but yeah, it's really not necessary, is it, to measure all 6. I suppose what will be difficult, what happens on the rare chance athletes get that equal distance? One would presume they would just go into a jump off if this was, say, at a championship level. So, and presume we don't need to be too concerned about that. So then Bonin to go next as well. She wants to move herself up the pecking order, a centimetre behind Moser. Can she overtake her? Clear of that one. We'll try and get a good mark on that. And Bonin 4:16, I believe that was. And Zing and Faye before fouling out and not going clear of 4 meters, but Julie Bonin, 4 meters and 16, that's her effective height. So, 2 more rounds for her men's javelin, by the way. Moving nicely as well. The second round, Jago and Peters are next to throw. Here goes Peters then, man of the moment, over 90 meters this year. He really has been on fine form. Where's this one going to come in at? Is he going to improve on that first round mark? Yes, he is, no doubt about it, and that's better. Much closer to that 80-meter mark. Still pretty modest by his standards. A double world champion, Olympic bronze medalist from Paris. He is cashing in on what has been a fantastic season. And joking with those meeting organizers beforehand, checking whether they've got enough grass for him, seeing his form in Lausanne and what he was able to throw there. And even that lifetime best of 93 meters is truly, truly mesmerizing, the grenade. And, well, here's Angelica Moser then on the runway. Getting ready to vault, having a modest competition so far. Way clear, but it's when you go, knocks it off, and this is the problem. So focused on height, gets a little bit closer to that bar. And that's the issue. And so far, what we're learning is that athletes vault a lot better in the traditional format. And, well, it's no surprise you would expect the technique to be adjusted a little bit, but I just think psychologically it's a different event. And I think mentally, you know, time will tell whether they can change their mindset ahead of it. But yeah, there's a lot on the line where you're going for that bar height, isn't there? So Sogalu's looking to move on to third round. So Peters, the only man to improve, by the way, on his lifetime best in the javelin. As we turn our attention trackside. What a lineup we have, by the way, this men's steeplechase mile. We're going to hear from Leah Springer, like we have all afternoon, quite frankly, what this event is and how it's going to look.
Du mile. Les règles standards du steeple sont maintenues, sauf que l'intensité de la course est plus soutenue et le rythme est plus haut. Les coureurs passeront 14 obstacles et 3 fois l'arrivée.
There we go, they're the key changes. 14 obstacles, bar the distance, of course. 14 obstacles and 3 water pits. And do you know what? This we had this event in back in May at Iffley Road for the 70th anniversary for the sub 4-minute mile, and I think they were like, well, what's the next barrier? And, you know, can we see a steeplechase in under 4 minutes for the mile? And, well, we won't see one today. I can pretty much promise you that. But, you know, down the line, it could be something that we see. Certainly one to think about. Abidjana then, 37-year-old. Well, what a terrific season he's having. 8:21, 2 races this year, mind, and DNF. But PB back in 2023, that really was pinnacle of his career, 3:44, 1500 man. Wilberforce Kones then is an 8:21 man, but is a pacemaker on the Diamond League circuit. He's done just about every steeplechase this year, up at the front, leading the way. Daru of France, French champion, went to those Olympic Games, knocked out in the heats. 3:39, 1500 man. Avinash Sable then, 29 years of age, national record holder, 8:09. His best over the 3,000 meter steeplechase. Hardly ever see him over the shorter distances. Jalali Badrani then, 8:05. European silver medalist in 2024 and world finalist. 3:36 is 1500 meter PB, but this is the fastest man over the 3,000 steeplechase. Sime of Ethiopia. He is a purist. We never see him, quite frankly, in an event other than the steeplechase. Enjoyed the Paris Diamond League. That's where he ran 8:02. DNF'd in Poland a few weeks ago. And pacemaker Michael Curti on the outside. And this is going to be a very interesting dynamic. We saw Germa absolutely clatter the barrier in the Olympic final. And there we are then. Here's the lights, 4:06. We're looking. That's what the lights are going to be paced at. So 6 men to get started for pure innovation, really. And whether this event will stick, the 3,000 meter steeplechase often a test of real pure endurance, speed and endurance and strength, and your ability, of course, to attack 35 hurdles and 7 water jumps. 28 hurdles, should I say, and 7 water jumps, 35 barriers in total. So these men settling in, and this is good to see single file. And this is an event that you fear for it a little bit. The sheer speed that they'll be going at, if they had sort of 12, 15 men in it, it would get pretty messy over at the water jump as well. So just like, well, they're going to come into that water pit first time, actually. So unlike Lea Springers, they're going to attack that on the first laps. All of them safely over it, coming into the home straight to complete lap 1. Let's keep an eye. They're moving fast. They're moving sort of around 63, 64 second tempo. Sime up at the front, Kones is second, Seibel in third, and Jalali Badrani would have been pretty disappointed not to be on that French team in Paris City Olympic Games. He's been their leading steeplechaser for many years now. He's at the rear of this field, just a little bit out of sorts over that barrier. Spaniard ahead of him there in 5th place, and Daru, who represented France, Nicolas Daru, at the Olympic Games, 35-year-old, huge improvements this year. And to get his lifetime best down to 8 minutes and 16 seconds. Sime just drifting wide there over this barrier. Kones on the inside. So these men finding it hard, and it's a completely different event. To be hurdling at this sort of speed compared to a 3,000 meter steeplechase, not only is your technique different, but the fatigue is going to hit them very, very differently. Sable just looking to not even put his foot on that, and that may be, you know, it's not something he often does. He often puts his foot on the hurdles in a 3,000, but again, I think he's looked at this event and he's thought, the speed I'm going at, it's just going to be much harder to gauge my rhythm and stride pattern going into that water pit. So pacer drops off. What are we, 2.5 at 800 or just over? So we're going to see something in the region of 4:10 if they can hold it. Kones going into unknown territory. He's used to dropping out at this stage in the race. He's a pacemaker frequently on a Diamond League circuit. He's pacemaker some electric times over the years, but Sime looking very, very strong. And quite frankly, he's not running too much quicker than what he'd close a 3,000 meter steeplechase in. You know, he's able to string 64s together almost for 7.5 laps. And he's running, well, round about that, just inside at the moment. 2:35 for the kilometer, so sort of 62s. And they're making hard work of it, aren't these men? And I think it's all down to that first lap starting to bite. And you can see the stutter over that one from Sime. That's going to fill Sable and Kones with a lot of confidence. And look at this thing. Frenchman Daru getting up on their shoulder. He's been moving well over the 1,500, 3:39 man. The others haven't really performed over the 1,500. Jalali Badrani back in 5th now. He's overtaking the Spaniard, who's had a bit of a rough season. Sime still out front. I'm not sure he's going to be challenged at this. Mazrangawi is cheering him on from the infield, as you can see. Going through the bell. Lights slipping away now. We're going to have a big dust up for the minor medals here. Sable into second. Kone's in third and Daru in fourth. Kone's, I saw him out here yesterday running laps and laps of this track, preparing for this one. But perhaps over-preparing as Daru moves into third now, as Kone's starting to struggle. And they're going to get lactic like no other. We see lactic in the 400 hurdles, but really, a mile, the fatigue you get in that alone, it's an absolute killer event, let alone over these obstacles and 4 water jumps as well. So then Abraham Sime of Ethiopia dominating at the moment. He's led this one the hard way. Daru is having a fantastic finish. Can he challenge Sime into this final straight? I don't think he's going to get near him. Sime's got to get over this last barrier. He cannot fall. Goes clear. Daru as well in second. So the Ethiopian who's run 8 minutes in 2 seconds this year over the 3,000 steeplechase, won the Paris Timing Leagues. Gonna win here in Fribourg, 4:14. Daru is second and Sable in third. Kones comes across and Bajani as well in 4:21. And it's interesting because I'm not sure what these men will take from this, what their experience will be, but I think this event is a lot harder than you originally think, and you give credit for Abidjana coming across the line as well. But you look at further back, you know, Sable has run 8:09, that 4:17, he must have split something like that, or very close to a 4, you know, between 4:17 and 4:20. And when he ran his lifetime best, let's hear from Sime.
I'm happy. Je suis content, le temps est excellent. Abraham Sime, Ethiopie!
And he gives the lead
Well,
to
there he is,
Team
the man
Yellow.
who represented Nike in the elite running team, the Ethiopian. Terrific from him, and it didn't go to Olympic Games, and you know, wasn't on that Ethiopian team, and you know, he is a man with huge talent, but to say the least, he is up and down. You know, DNFing in Poland, but running 8:02 this year hasn't quite been consistent. Back to the pole vault in Lambert at 2. 4:29, his best so far. We're into that 5th round of the pole vault. And by the way, that was the final track event of the night, and wasn't it thrilling? Quite frightening, really, and I think those men absolutely exhausted. Running at that speed over those jumps, I think it's going to be some years until we see a sub-4 if it's to stick around. Sugalu's in the javelin in. He's going to want to beat his mark. He's going to have to if he wants it measured. Oh, no way near, and he is way off it. Sugalu's, the Belgian, second at their national championships earlier on in the year. Of course, didn't see him at the Olympic Games. Hasn't thrown far enough for that yet. Back to Kissling in the pole vault then. Goes clear, comfortably. Nice jump from him. He's the event leader at 4:51. No one getting close to it at the moment. Closest to come to him is 4:42. Timo Zing, who's going to be next to jump for the red team. 4:49, another consistent vault from Kissling. Here we are, Tobias Lane. The Finn, 71.38, that's his mark that he's got to beat if he's going to want to better it, bump himself up the pecking order. Sits in 3rd at the moment. So, former under-23 champion in this discipline. Oh, dear. Dear. Yeah. Well, Jago, by the way, I can't say, is Julius Jago proving to pass on all of his throws. We saw him throw in the first round to get a few points for the team. And those of you who follow sort of British athletics and those national leagues and team scores, or the NCAs and how they score it as well, it does count. You've got to get a mark on for your team. Better than pulling up injured. There we are, Timo Zing then just getting it wrong on the bar. So height way past 4 meters, but coming down on it. So remains in 2nd. Moser in 3rd. Kitty Fay is going to be next to Volt. But in the javelin, Gatis Jaks, the Latvian, again, someone who is capable of way more. I expect the officials to be taking measurement on this one because this should go way clear. Oh, it's tight though, isn't it? Oof. Well, I think they're going to have to, just in case. I think that's the problem you got. You know, it's all done by the eye. I mean, they're going to look, but yeah, they're taking measurement. I think they're looking at it going, well, it's far too close. And are they going to say that's further? They are. Well, looks like they may have got that reading. Nope. Come up on my screen. That will go down as a nullified attempt. Here goes Kitty Fade in pole vault. His series so far as well. 4 minutes and 4:23 on this 5th round. That's the mark she's got to beat. Also another European under-23 medalist. Hey, that's better. Well, she's over. Whether it's better or not, we will wait to see. I think, like I said earlier, it's you know, one of the things we love about the pole vault. As soon as they clear it, the crowd can erupt. And the athlete, you know, can go crazy as well if they've jumped to PB. But there's going to be that time where they have to wait now, and it's almost, you know, what you've got in events like the long jump and stuff. You just never quite know. But it certainly speeds up the competition. That's for sure. And, well, this is good to see. Athletes trackside, they're enjoying the event, soaking it up, cheering on their teammates as well. And, well, look at Sime then. Getting some max points for the yellows. And you know what? They are, we're going to have to check those team standings, but from my sort of calculations, I think they are leading the way. And yeah, do you know what? They're 2 points ahead of the blue team. 35 points at the moment. So Bonin, who goes for the yellows, it's important that she tries to get max points here. And at the moment, 3 points, that's not going to cut it if they want to stay ahead of the Blues, who are very, very close behind. And of course, competing for the blue will be Timo Zing, who is ahead of Benin in these team standings. So, French woman, let's go, Marie-Julie Benin. Former European Under-23 champion, well clear of that one. Well, happy enough. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. Yes, much, much better. So you can see confidently sort of moving away. There we are. 4:35, showing improvement, but unfortunately will stay in 4th place. She'll have one more to go. Anderson Peters, their man at the moment, really is the star of the show. Whoa, and that's big. Out on 85 meters, he's getting better and better, is Peters, and he's the only man who has had 3 out of 3 attempts. All 3 will be measured, and we're going to see a smile from him. Casual. I mean, when you've thrown 93 and you're a national record holder and you're used to picking up medals at the global stage, I mean, it's just, you know, pretty standard work. Service resumed here. 81-18 for Peters, I've got on my screen. So again, an improvement. And look, quite frankly, he's done more than enough, I think, to win this competition. Moser then in the pole vault. Whee, there we go. Goes clear. Crowd like it. Will Moser like it? And will the red team like it too? And of course, I think there's no coincidence. She's that red team captain. Swiss colors here. Wow, she soared over that one. To get a closer look. And here we go, 4:47 from Moser. So pushes her up into 2nd place. And she'll have one more attempt to go beyond that. Again, you know, for an athlete who jumped 4:88, you would expect to see her be able to go even higher. But, you know, one of the things Moser has done is she has improved, you know, 4:32 in round 1. 4:41 in round 3, and then in round 5 she's gone 4:49, and I think she is using this competition like she would perhaps a traditional pole vault competition where you're, you know, competing for those traditional heights. So we've got one more round in the pole vault, ladies and gentlemen, and then we've got you know, one more round in the javelin as well, and then that will be the conclusion of this fantastic first time event here in Fribourg in the track lab. They call it innovation at the heart of their meeting, and we've seen a lot of things tested from the reaction time, but actually we didn't see any athletes from my records who actually reacted faster than 0.1 meters, 0.1 of a second, sorry. And even though they had the leeway to react even faster, but I would say that really is, once you do react, it's more anticipation, isn't it, than reaction time. But that's probably perhaps, I spoke about changes earlier on in the program. to the sport of track and field. And over the last, even century, we've seen very, very little changes. There's just your team standings on the picture. But changes we have seen have come when you look at that false start ruling, haven't they? I mean, pre-2003, everyone was allowed a second chance when it came to false starting, and you really would, you could have 3 or 4 false starts in the competition. Post that, obviously they had, anyone could false start, but then from there the whole field were at risk of disqualification should someone false start again. So that was a kind of 6-year period from 03 to 09 where that false start rule lived. And then from 09 to, into the 2010s, that was it. It was a one and done rule, and that was the changes. And the reaction time since the electronic blocks have come in as well was considered to be 0.1 of a second. And those athletes getting used to that. And of course, back in the day when they just had the gun, it did used to make a little bit of a difference. Slight disadvantage if you were out on lane 8 to when you would just hear that gun. Very, very marginal, but will make a slight difference. Well, enough about false starts. Over to Kitty Fay in the pole vault. This is the 6th final round. So athletes getting slightly less jumps than they would in the traditional pole vault format here. And there she goes, up and over that one, and we reject the vaulting order now. She claps out and performed well for the green team. Unfortunately, sits in 6th place, and she may improve on that 4:23. Let's have a look what it comes in at, 4:20, so just below. So she will remain in 6th, and next to vault will be Jean Lambert, 2. And his mark to beat, 4:29. He sits in 5th place, so can he improve on that? So Moser and Kitty Fay having a good little catch-up. Fay, of course, will be inspired by the Swiss athlete. Well, the photographers have, of course, that responsibility to capture every single moment. And I believe we're going to have a little bit of a closing ceremony here as well. So the party not going anywhere. And we hope you've enjoyed it. And of course, meet organizers, World Athletics, they're going to want to hear your feedback. So take to socials. I want to see the noise that this event makes through the sport of track and field, and these changes might have. Men's javelin into its final round. Gaddis Jacks sits in 5th at the moment, 69.45. Quite frankly, way off his best, the Latvian. There is teammates. Look at that yellow team. They're going to want to get the points. They lead at the moment, though. So Gaddis Jacks, can he just do them a favor and potentially wrap this competition up? Here he goes. If he gets himself into 3rd or 4th, it will be a done deal. And I think the yellow team will take the overall team prize. So good speed on the runway. Eyes on that. Will he get the measurement? Will he improve? Oh. No. So it wasn't to be for Jacks. Frustrated, rightly so. Like I said, 87.57, former world junior champion back in 2014. 29 years of age, coming into his prime. He's been on the circuit a long, long time. The Paris Olympian. Lambert, the 2 of them. Swiss athlete, competing for the big team here. Well, he's up and over it. 4 meters and 29 is best. This mixed competition, again, not often you see mixed competitions, so great to see, and they've got scope to really do that with the bar at the same height. So there we are, 4:26, another consistent jump for him. He'll stay down in 5th, and yeah, I wonder, speaking with these athletes after, if they'll think that they could have vaulted a lot higher today, given the shape they were coming in at, if the bar was higher than 4 meters. Sogaluz goes in the javelin, sitting in 4th. Oh, okay, no improvement for him, so fouled out. And over to Benin. Look at this stint. From pole vault to javelin, back and forth, fast-paced action, and of course we're going to get it all wrapped up in this short 90-minute to 2-hour window. This format, and the beauty of it is we haven't missed a beat, we haven't missed a vault, we haven't missed a jump, we haven't missed a throw, and I think that's important. We want to see, as track and field fans, we want to see those stories portrayed on our screens and unfold in a way, especially when you think about you know, the lack of time, you do have to tell these stories in a 2-hour window, and that's what's so special about the Olympic Games. Drawn out over a couple of weeks, you can really get to know the athletes, whether it be through qualifying, those days in between, interviews, and the build-up as well. But in, then over, up and over, goal! That's unfortunate. So that yellow team will stay in fourth. 3 points to take home for them. And they still lead the way on 35 points. The blue in second in 33. But we are looking, you know, with 2 events to go, almost completed. And the men's javelin, Tobias Lane is going to be next to throw. Here he is. The Finn sits in third. And he goes for the red team. So really, we're looking at the blue and red team who are really going to challenge for the top. Potentially the black, if they can have some good performances. But because Peters is going to get, I got no doubt in my mind, he's going to win this javelin competition. He's representing the black team, and you know, he's going to get them a maximum of 8 points, so that would put them already ahead of yellow. And with Jax not performing very well for Latvia, I think we could see a little bit of change from the team standings. And this team aspect, I think athletes will enjoy it. They'll certainly get to know and really compete for one another, and compete for their team captains as well. But, you know, could we see, whether it be nationalities, you know, at the World Championship level potentially? I've always said, you know, perhaps if that medal table was scored like the scoring system we see in the NCAA, it would be a truer reflection of what country has the most depth, as a side, you know, from just purely medals. You know, you have a country who get 2 golds and nobody else performs, but they might be, you know, super high up on that medal table versus a country who has 3 bronzes, and what country is better, what country kind of deserves more publicity, more funding, and all these kind of technicalities that we've got in our sport, and athletes certainly fight for. Oh, there's Mazwangani, then Liz Clay as well. And he's had a smile on his face all weekend, that man, Shores Mazwangani, and you gotta love it. This South African, he is a guy who just soaks up this sport. He loves it, and you know what, you can tell he loves travel. As following his documentation of his travel into the Olympic Games in Paris, and boy oh boy, he cut it fine. He had a bit of had a few problems, to say the least, forgetting his luggage, moving house in the meantime as well, and all these, you know, these athletes have to go through that. It's quite surreal, really, bearing in mind they still turn up and perform at their very best. But yeah, I think he had to play "I'm going to the Paris Olympics" card. Can you get me on another flight, when he missed his first flight? Anyway, back to this women's pole vault. Angelika Moser. Ah, no. And excuse me, mixed pole vault. How dare I? Moser bows out then, 4:47. She sits in second. That'd be 6 points for the red team, and a strong enough competition for her. Three fouls where she couldn't clear 4 meters, and then 3 attempts. And I think, you know, she's definitely got one eye on her remaining competitions throughout the season as well, hasn't she? I mean, great to see her here in Fribourg, you know, representing Switzerland and bringing the crowd out, and of course captaining Team Red. But yeah, I'm sure she's got a little bit of an eye on those final few competitions in her sights. You know, the level she competes at, multiple global medalists, and by the way, 11 European medalists here today, 6 world medalists, and 6 Olympic medalists, and whether that be in relays or individual categories. So the man who's won this mixed competition, Fabio Kissling for the black team, and actually they are gonna win this team event here today, because he's just got the max points. 428 over on the bar. But Anderson Peters, no doubt in my mind, he's won the men's javelin throw with a mark of 81 meters and 18 centimeters. And Tobias Lane been waiting patiently down on the far side as well, waiting for this pole vault competition to wrap up. 4:51. Good voting from the red team. Here we go then, Tobias Lane. Competing for the Reds, the Finn, 71-38. Look, for him, really, if he wants to go ahead of Matasuvicis, he's going to have to clear 75-15, something beyond that. So that would be where the white lines are, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to do it, is he? No, Joe, just a bit of fatigue in him. Captain Altis, thank you very much. It's been a fantastic competition. I think he's enjoyed it as well. Whereas Pia Skutkovska, she was the red team captain, so she had a close eye on that one. And you know what? I think they're looking at these results, aren't they? So, a couple men to throw. Idis Matusevic and Anderson Peters to go next. Matusevic for the pink team. Here we go, he's getting the crowd going, clapping. Some of them just want to key into their own rhythm as well, don't they? So 75-15, he'll stay in second. Unless he can go beyond the 81-meter marker. He can do. He's thrown 89 meters in his past. That's his lifetime best. Oh, well, it's better. But it's not going to challenge, is it? It's not going to challenge Peters, so... And you know what? That will come close. Tina Lim is team captain. I think that will come close to his 75 from round 3. So 4 attempts from these men. Bows out. And then final attempt to go. Julius Jaego, by the way, very unfortunately, we saw him throw in round 1. The former world champion back in 2015, Olympic silver medalist, the Kenyan. And inspired a nation, inspired a continent, to be honest with you, when he won that world gold in 2015, Jaego. But this man also inspiring that tiny island of Grenada, Anderson Peters. He's been in fine form all season long. Here he goes then, to not just conclude the men's javelin competition, but to conclude the evening here in Fribourg at the Track Lab, where we have seen innovation across 8 disciplines. There we go, so he really gives it some there. He's not going to improve on his 81-meter mark. But you can see, attacked it with the speed, bows out, and he'll be happy enough. And again, they won't measure it because there was no improvement there. And there he is. Well, he'll look ahead. He enjoys Switzerland, that's for sure. He enjoyed Lausanne a few nights ago, last week. And he's enjoyed this one. So there we are then. Team champions will be that black team, there's no doubt about it. Visser, who kick-started this meeting. Peters, who concludes it. Those two coming away with the victory. And of course, in the mixed pole vault as well, Fabio Kissling competing very well for them. Sable in the steeple. And Diemer in the women's long jump. Lemmings as well, the 200, there we are, so they've enjoyed that one. 20,000 euros, the team prize for that team gold. That'll be split up, so well worth it, and the volley as well on their team. So fantastic. So I think we're hoping to hear from this black team as well. DJ is going to get the party started here in Fribourg before we close off the evening, but we're going to party late into the evening, into the sunset here at this gorgeous, quite frankly, gorgeous arena, University Arena in this small city, famous for its old town, traditional Swiss old town, on the river as well. Follow that all the way to Bern. But these athletes make no mistake. Well, there's Fabio Kissling. Great of him to join them. And what a step up for him to be among the stars, really. And these are stars, you know, these are world medalists, Olympic medalists, Olympic finalists, you know, athletes at the top of their game. And hopefully that motivates the young man to continue to pursue his career, double down on the pole vault. He's going to look to attack the 5-meter barrier, I'm sure, at some point in his career. But let's hear from Nadine Visser, their team captain.
Yes, Team Black was ruling the track. I'm very proud team captain.
You started with a win, and Peterson ended with a win. It's very easy, athletics.
It is. I think we all had top 3 positions, so it was really nice. People already said before, oh, you have a good team, but we made it through, so it was, yeah.
Les gens ont dit même avant qu'elle avait une super équipe. Nadine Visser des Pays-Bas, la capitaine de Team Black.
There you are, your 100-meter hurdle champion and your team captain of the winning team, the black team here a track lab, first of its kind. We've never seen anything like it before, especially not in the realms of track and field, a sport which has been slow to change, quite frankly, to say the least. We've seen changes to reaction time here. We've seen changes to the way the long jump has been carried out with that 40-centimeter takeoff zone. We've seen this steeplechase become faster and harder with the mile. We've seen the pole vault be sped up and focused on effective height. And we've seen the javelin change by taking just the longest throw as well, and also being sped up, shortened with just 4 attempts. Whether these changes in the sport of track and field will stick, what the athletes think of it, I'm sure we'll find out over the coming days. And we hope to see you back here in 2025. I've been your commentator, Matt Seddon, along for the ride all afternoon. Take care and enjoy the rest of the season.